The most remarkable thing about Lego is that Lego became this sort of staple of video games, like Lego Harry Potter for DS or Lego Star Wars for Wii. All those. So they had made the leap from being the plastic. Are they made in? Is it Norway or are they? They're Scandinavian, aren't they? They'd made the leap from being that into being part of the digital world some time ago. Danish, I beg your pardon. And so then along comes the Lego movie, which sounds like such a bad idea. You think Lego movie is
like the worst idea.
It really did, didn't it? And then the Lego movie was absolutely wonderful. It was really smart, really funny, really cine literate, had, everything is awesome, which was like a total earworm, which you could never get rid of. And was visually brilliant, used digital animation to somehow bring these building blocks to life in a way which was quite extraordinary and, was up there with Toy Story 2 in terms of its meta-ness. I really enjoyed it. So now, from the Lego movie, there's Batman. You remember in the Lego movie, there's Batman, I only work in black or occasionally very dark grey. So Batman now gets his own Lego Batman movie. And Lord and Miller, who are the directors, who are the producers, at the beginning, we meet Batman, and he's basically this crime-busting narcissist who's completely in love with himself. You keep expecting him to burst into a chorus of everything is Batman, because he seems to think that everything revolves around him. And when we meet him very, very early on, he's doing what he does best, which is, saving Gotham, saving the world. However, it turns out that he is so insular, so completely self-obsessed, so narcissistic, that what he isn't managing to do is connect with those around him, even his greatest enemies. Here's a clip.
I got you.
Oh, yeah? Well, there's only one problem. Who's gonna defuse the bomb? It's gotta be one or the other, Batman. Save the city or catch your greatest enemy. You can't do both.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
You can't do both, I said.
No, I mean the other thing.
Save the city or catch your greatest enemy.
You think you're my greatest enemy?
Yes! You're obsessed with me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are! Who else drives you to one-up them the way that I do?
Bane.
No, he doesn't.
Superman.
Superman's not a bad guy.
Then I'd say that I don't currently have a bad guy. I am fighting a few different people.
What?
I like to fight around.
Isn't that line great? I like to fight around. Okay, so that is basically the sort of the tone of the whole film. That for a start, it's very literate about all the other incarnations of Batman, whether it's the the Chris Nolan Batmans or whether it's the Batmans before, or whether it's going right back
Batman,
to what.
surely.
No, it'd be Batman's.
Is it Batman's? Isn't that interesting?
I don't think you'd say Batman. I think if you're talking about the former Batman movies, you'd say the Batmans. And going right back to that weird 60s one, which they referred to at one point, there's a brilliant, he says, we're going to have a punch-up that's so great that the sound effects are going to appear visually on screen. Anyway, so it's very, very...
I love that TV series.
Yeah, well, yes, so did I. But I have to say that the Lego Batman movie has a fun sense of what it is about that series that was also completely terrible and yet quite funny. And so... what it does is, on the one hand, it's very cine literate about the Batman universe in the media, in television, in film. On the other hand, it's unbelievably sort of kinetic filmmaking. One of the problems I had was at the screening that I saw it in, it's a very small screening room, and I was very close to the screen, and I wanted to be very far away from the screen, because you had that sense all the time that there was so much going on, there was so much stuff happening, that at any point in it, you could freeze frame it and go, oh, I'm missing that gag. I mean, there is a gag about Batman's number plate, which I completely missed. I only read about later on, and I'm going to go back and watch it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because, I don't want to spoil the joke, but every single moment of it, you feel there is stuff going on all around the frame that you want to watch and rewatch, because it's only the third or fourth time you're going to get it. As far as the dialogue is concerned, well, Annette as Batman, Zach Galifianakis as Joker, Michael Cera as Robin, who is, the person who is adopted, who desperately wants a family. Barbara Gordon as Rosario Dawson, who wants Batman to learn to work with other people. And yet what happens is, after his day of crime fighting, Batman secretly goes back to the Batcave, sits on his own, and his little dirty secret is that he watches romantic comedies, because it's the one thing that he doesn't have in his life. So on the one hand, you get all that sort of frenetic visual invention. On the other hand, you get that thing that every minute there's 30 or 40 cine literate jokes. Plus, you get the stuff that I imagine, I saw it in a screening only with adults, but I imagine that there are enough jokes in there, like him going that will appeal to the younger viewers. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's quite I don't think it's quite the Lego movie, because I think the Lego movie had something a little bit more timeless about it. But what I think it is in terms of it's like being sucker punched, because the gag rate is so high. It's like boom, not sucker punch, rabbit punched. That's what you call it. It's in boom, 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 boom. And after a while, you kind of just lay off for a little bit, because the sight of him at home heating up his lobster thermidor for one in the microwave is funny enough to carry that whole scene through, and yet there'll be 3 or 4 other gags going on at the same time. I really enjoyed it. I was really worried that I was going to be let down. In the end, as before, the message is that it's, everything is awesome if you're part of a team, and so we're learning those lessons, but you're doing it in a way which just makes you want. I mean, as I said, if I have a criticism, my criticism is I wanted to reach out and grab the screen and go, just stop a minute, just hold that a minute so I can just get all the jokes that are in that frame. Okay, now off you go. But I'm also willing to accept that may well be a problem of, like, when people say to me, you talk too fast, and I go, no, the problem is you listen too slow. It may be that I was watching too slow.